ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Where my mom's at? Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at? Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at?
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
Meow, 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 meow. Come see me do stand-up. You guys, I'm doing a special thing just here in Austin, Tejas. I am doing a very different type of set. I'm telling you guys, I'm going deeper. I'm getting weirder. Yow! And I fucking love it. And I'm trying it out. I'm talking about things I never really had the means to earlier in my stand-up career, if that makes sense. Like, you get to a point where you can, like, I can write a shit joke. Maybe I can write about other stuff. So come see me in the side room. It's called the Red Room at Cap City. The tickets go really fast every week for that. It's only like 70 people or something. And yeah, come try it out. Come hang out with me. Watch me try out some new shit. Super fun. That's all now. I think Turner Hall Ballroom is almost completely gone. There's maybe like just a handful of tickets April 30th. And then again, the Red Room. And then Charlestown, West Virginia, Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races, May 13th. That's just a very easy title. It just rolls off the tongue. And then Comedy Works downtown in Denver, September 14th, 15th, and 16th. ChristinaPOnline.com for tickets. Also, if you haven't already, try it out. Buy my lip shits. It's Christina P's The Perfect Red. It really is the perfect red. I've been wearing red lipstick since I was 13 years old because I had bad parents, and I couldn't love this formula more. I've had someone just emailed me today telling me that they like the taste of the lipstick even. So that is a smash hit. You shouldn't be really eating it, but I imagine a little bit gets in your mouth, and that's cool. You can do that. ChristinaPOnline.com, and I think that's it for that. Now, moving along, what is happening in the mom world? If you're anything like me, you've got mom friends that you keep it kind of cash with. Just standard, like, hey, is today wacky t-shirt day at school? Is it the pajama day, the god-awful pajama day at school? I hate, it's like, it's not bad enough that you got two little kids I gotta fucking do their homework with and all that, and then are like, guess what, today's spirit wear. They gotta wear spirit wear. I'm like, Jesus, with the fucking spirit wear and the pajama day. So there's those moms that you text about that with, and then there's like special mom friends you have, bitches that send you the awesomest stuff. And if you're lucky enough to have one of these friends, this bitch sent me, I love it, this guy, what's his name? Mulvaney?
Dylan Mulvaney.
Dylan Mulvaney. Forgive my ignorance. Listen, I don't use a Livono. I don't know much about the world because I'm inside with my kids a lot. I am on TikTok, and I saw Dylan Mulvaney like a long time ago on the talk. And people were already getting their panties in a twist because he was like, I'm a girl. And I was like, oh, he's just like another TikTok guy who I love watching and make fun of, blah, blah, blah. And then the Bud Light thing happened recently. But before that came the Drew Barrymore thing. I don't know. Let's start from the very beginning. Can we play his first TikTok? Let's see where this all started, because there's just been an uproar over Dylan Mulvaney and the Bud Light ad. Apparently Bud Light chose him as the sponsor. Is that correct, Josh?
Yeah.
And then they lost, $3 billion? Mm-hmm. Talk about know your audience, dipshits. Like, do you really think the majority of Bud Light drinkers are like, this is my guy, this is who represents me? It's the guy, what was he? He was in the Book of Mormon singer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the guy, Bud Light. Good choice. Good choice. Good job. I don't want that. I wouldn't want that either if I'm drinking my Bud. So let's see this guy's, she's now a woman. Let's see this woman's first video. This is the very first one, right? And like that one went viral.
This is the first, this is day one of her being a girl.
Day one. So I'm assuming that means like day one, I'm on my hormones, right? Mm-hmm. She's on estrogen.
Day one of being a girl, and I have already cried 3 times. I wrote a scathing email that I did not send. I ordered dresses online that I couldn't afford. And then when someone asked me how I was, I said, I'm fine, when I wasn't fine. So. How'd I do, ladies? Good? Girl power.
Right. It is a bit caricature-ish of what it is to be a woman. So we're overly emotional. We cry relentlessly. We're passive-aggressive, and we can't tell people our real feelings, and we overshop. Is that right? Is that what it is to be a woman? How do you guys feel? Does that resonate with you? Is that stupid chicks?
I can't tell if it's a bit or not. Like, it just feels like, yeah, he's doing an impersonation
of what a girl is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw like a lot of like right-wing people, conservatives, were like, they're making a mockery of womanhood and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't care enough to take it that far. Like, this person's making a mockery of womanhood. But it does feel caricaturish and not real. Right, Chad? What were you saying earlier? Chad had a good thing on it.
Oh, yeah. It did seem kind of like, well, it's a caricature and it's kind of exaggerating or kind of mocking what you would think a girl or woman would act like.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because I think normally it'd be like the more progressive people that would call that out. And it's currently like conservative people are saying it's, a mockery whenever someone tries to put on some, be a different thing or a different culture, a different gender or whatever. It seems like a progressive thing to kind of to
call people out. I know. And yet they're like, go ahead and co-opt this culture or whatever. But the reason, like, the conservatives, when they do it, it feels hateful though. Don't you agree? It feels like there's like a dose of like, F this guy. It's like, well, clearly there's something going on here. And what is it? I'm curious to know. But that would be like me taking testosterone and being like, guys, today I did 50 push-ups, and then I bought a pickup truck, and then I beat the shit out of some queers. Am I right? Like, it feels a little reductive. And I can't imagine just one day on estrogen does all of that to you. Because listen, I take tea for my perimenopausal symptoms, and I don't feel I'm a naturally pretty aggressive lady. But I don't feel any crazier. I don't know. Let's see what. So that we saw day one. Let's see what day 58, and let's see if there's any nuance. Is she still crying? Is she still shopping compulsively? Let's see.
Day 58 of being a girl, and I just froze my sperm. That is a statement that I never thought I'd say, but here we are. I'm currently taking estrogen and a testosterone blocker, and I plan to be on them for a long time. And one of the side effects can be infertility. I didn't know that having kids was something that I was gonna even have to think about this early in my life. I'm in my 20s, and I just have to be careful because there's kind of a small window now with these hormones of what I decide. I am so down for adoption when I'm older. I think that would be a beautiful journey. But I was also scared of letting go of the other options. I just got my sperm count results back from the lab, and my sperm count was just above the viable amount. So I kind of did it at the perfect time.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
I'm really, really happy that I did. Anyone who's curious, I used the company Legacy. It's an at-home testing and freezing kit.
Oh, is that
so
the
I
paid
kind of just put the
insert?
swimmers into a box, sent them off, and it was so nice to not have to go to the doctor's office. I already go to so many doctors as it is. And now there's a bunch of little Dylans in a freezer somewhere. And today's
Yay.
Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. I love you, Mom. Hi, Donna.
Okay, I can't.
I can't wait to be a
mom. Can I just tell you,
day,
like,
if that's
I feel like, why does this make me sad? Like, I don't feel, and this is somebody, like, I'm really trying to understand it and be open, but I feel sad. I don't like, he's like, yay, I'm doing all this stuff that's completely fucking bananas. Like, here I am freezing my sperm, even though I'm transitioning to be like, he knows how bonkers it sounds, and it must feel even weirder to be this person. So I really am like, I mean, my heart goes out to her, because this seems just like insanity, and I can't imagine what that's like to be this. Okay, so this one came out. This is the one my savage mom friend sent me. This is the one that's making the rounds. Let's go.
It's day 335 of being a girl, and I wanted to go on record to say that this might be the hottest I've ever looked and will ever look in my lifetime. And I'm making this video so that in thousands of years, there will be evidence. Is it the dress? It could be the dress. Is it the makeup? Or is it the hair? Because I think it's the extensions. And when I have extensions in, I don't know my name. I don't know where I live. I just know that I love these. And I know that I look like I could steal a husband. But I want to promise you, look me in the eyes. I want to promise you that I would never do that to you. Okay, I am a girl's girl. And I love ya. Woo! But seriously, this is good, right? Okay. Love you. Okay, New York Fashion Week. Oh, okay, bye. Love you.
Maybe
Bye.
like part of it. Okay, maybe part of it is that this person's an actor to begin with. Like it's got like theater geek vibes already, where you're like, dude, this person was bullshit before they transitioned. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they were never really there to begin with.
You know what's crazy? That one seemed more normal to me than the first two that we saw.
Right, like she's more grounded now.
Right,
like,
more rooted into whatever her new identity is. Like it feels like she's more comfortable with it in that video.
Whatever the fuck is going on, you believe it, and that's all that counts. Yeah, it's like it's kind of a weird, and I guess what would bother me. What does bother me as a woman is you're like, what is this? It's like the preoccupation with just the hotness. You know, it's like, I just want to be pretty and be hot and wear makeup. And that's not all there is to being a woman. So I do find that a really just like, wait, what? Like that's, if you just want to wear extensions and look pretty, you can kind of do that without the full transition. I just feel like it is reductive and like, I don't know, dude. It's silly. I'm not in that body, so I have no fucking idea, but it still bums me the fuck out. I'm like, oh, dude, this poor guy is fucking confused. I mean, I'm supposed to feel supportive. That's the part I think too was like, because I know that she was on Drew Barrymore's. Do we have this clip too?
Yeah, I do.
This was wild to me on so many levels too. Where I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is Drew Barrymore doing? What are we doing? But let's.
I look at someone like you, and I can't imagine anybody disliking you.
Oh, please. Do you want to know, ironically, who dislikes me the most sometimes?
Who?
Myself.
Oh, me too. Oh. But...
Yikes.
You know who dislikes me most of all sometimes? Myself. Like, it's everything. It's like getting down on your knees in front of the guest and at the lisp and the like, what is happening on the Drew Barrymore show?
I think that's kind of her thing.
To be like super feely, touchy.
Yeah, I think she's done this with a lot of guests, actually.
Yeah, she'll sit crisscross applesauce and like to go face to face and like feel the person. It's just wild, dude. Yeah, and I'm a girl. Myself. Wait, do it again. Myself. Yeah, I fucking feel like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Yeah, I feel so embarrassed. And I'm a lady. I feel embarrassed. Okay. So we had, we brought up Lex on Instagram. I feel like I'm all over the place today. Sorry, you guys. I'm very scattered because there's just a million good things to get to. Lex.Della Rosa. She's on Instagram. And I found her a while back because she presents a very different portrayal of motherhood. I would say a perfect motherhood. Can we play some choice clips of Lex? You have to see it to understand fully what I am talking about. But she is perfect. Make no mistake. So this one is POV, or toddler requested chocolate biscotti, and it shows her. It's so perfect. She can cut an egg in half on a knife, and then she's got a smile on her face, and she's blending and then doing the thing, and then very serenely, there's no children screaming in the background. There's nobody pulling anything off the countertops. I don't know how she does this. So she is smiling again, cutting everything in half. And her kids are like, this is awesome, Mom. Thank you. You're perfect. This is amazing. Okay. Yeah, it's all perfect. She's got chickens in the backyard. Her kids never cry, and all her furniture is beige. And a few episodes back, I kind of took a shit on Lex, and I'm gonna admit I'm a petty person. I'm not perfect like Lex. I make bad choices. My house is filthy. So Lex is what I would consider to be a perfect mom. She's doing it right. Her house is immaculate. She takes a lot of joy and pride into making homemade biscottis for her children, where I am barely hanging on by a thread. And she's a stay-at-home mom, so she does it all the time. My husband's gone a lot, so I am alone with my children a lot. That being said, I took my kids on a little field trip. We went to a hotel in DC. Could you just play? This is a video I send my mom friends when I'm on the road, just to show them what an absolute dump shit show. So the Waldorf Astoria in Washington, D.C. This is what my children did to it last night. I had to put all these towels down because they flooded the fucking floor. And then here's, as a bonus, my son Ellis clogged the toilet. There you go. Happy Easter. So that's at a really nice hotel. And my kids took a bath, and I couldn't pay attention to them anymore because I was so frustrated and over it that I just let them fuck up that bathroom. And they flooded the floor, and Ellis took a monster dump and clogged that toilet. So there you go. That's my daily existence.
Oh my God.
They're savages. Boys are. So I'm curious as to how Lex handles. She's got, I think, 2 little boys as well. So luckily we've got her available, and we're going to talk to Lex and see if she has some tips and tricks on how to be a perfect mom. Because I sure as hell, I'm not doing it that way. We are supported by Huel Daily Greens. I just realized that I didn't need to spend $100 a month on green powders. I recently discovered Huel Daily Greens. It's been a blessing to my health routine and my wallet. Huel Daily Greens packs in 91 nutrients from super greens, adaptogens, plant proteins, and more. 1 drink a day every morning, and I get an amazing boost to my immunity, brain, and energy levels. And best of all, it doesn't taste like a swamp like other greens. It's refreshing and it's fruity, so I genuinely look forward to it every morning. I love my Huel Daily Greens. I drink it every morning, and the best part is it doesn't taste terrible. It doesn't taste like you're drinking a bowl of kale. If you've been overpaying for greens or looking for a better affordable option, Huel Daily Greens is for you. Head to huel.com/WMMA and you'll get a special offer of a free shaker and t-shirt with your first order. Are you looking for the perfect gift for mom or another loved one? My mother-in-law is hard to shop for, but one thing she'll never have enough of: photos of her grandkids. The skylight frame has been the perfect gift for her since it's so simple to use, and we can send her new photos of her grandkids all the time. The skylight digital photo frame is a sweet and meaningful gift that will give you a new way to stay in touch with those you love. It's so simple and fun to use, even if you're not tech savvy. There's no app or a subscription required to send photos anytime from anywhere. My kids love this frame. The skylight frame is in our kitchen, and they love looking at photographs of them, even from like yesterday, and it's so easy. Now, as a special Mother's Day offer, get 10% off, up to $30 off your frame when you go to skylightframe.com/moms. That's right. To get 10% off, up to $30 off your purchase of a skylight frame, just go to skylightframe.com/mom. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/moms. All right, mommies, thanks to the magic of the interwebs, I have on the line with me right now, Alexia De La Rosa. Guys, clap for her. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm amazing, and you look absolutely perfect as I expected.
Oh my gosh, so do you.
That's questionable. So you have 2 little boys as well. Mine are 4 and 7. How old are your children?
My oldest just turned 3 in April, and then my youngest is almost 1.5.
Yeah, and you look so good. And
oh my God.
How can I just tell you? So I came across your Instagram, and I was like, how is this woman? How are you having beige furniture? And how is everything so clean? And how are you so rested? And how are you smiling? Please tell me your secrets, because I may have been harsh when I saw you, but it's only because I want the same thing you do, Lex. We are one and the same. I want to be a perfect mom, but I can't do it. So tell me your life. Tell me your secrets. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. I think the way that I'm able to do it is that we just have a really, really good routine. And I was also a nanny for a lot of years before I had kids. So I was very used to being around young, small children, and that being my job. For some days, I was working a 12-hour day with someone else's kids, and it was all about routine and just making sure things were getting done. And so I think when I had kids, I was already in a good mindset of like, this is how you get things done with kids. Like, you need a routine, you need just good structure. And so that's kind of what we have here, and it just works really well for us. It just makes life so much easier. Okay.
So routine, are you sleep training? Do you do that?
We sleep trained both of our kids. And I think that is a huge game changer. I know that can be a touchy subject for some people. Some people think sleep training is cruel and don't believe in doing it. And that's fine. If you want to rock your babies to sleep and hold them and do all that, that's awesome. But for me, knowing that you just need good routine, everyone needs good sleep. We sleep train both the boys, and it has worked wonders. So
yeah, I agree. I love my children so much, but I didn't want to sleep with them every night, all night. And I think there are there's different ways of sleep training. You can go hardcore, like the cry it out method. You can do a moderate version of crying it out. There's all kinds of methods. It's not just all or nothing. So you're telling me you get good sleep. That's number one. And you have so much beige furniture. How? And it's not covered in slime or toilet paper like mine. How are you doing this, Lex? Are you a robot? Are you AI?
I couldn't tell you if I was.
That's
but
true.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just really clean, and I'm pretty good about no food on the white couch, no slime. Couch. Like, we do slime, we do sensory bends, we do all the fun things.
I saw you do that.
Like, definitely. Yeah, there's rules, there's zones that we keep things in, and the boys are both really good about, not making a huge mess of those things. But yeah, and I clean a lot. I do clean a lot. I know clean. Some people. Yeah. And it's one of those things that's it's like therapeutic to me. Like, when they go down for their nap, I'm like, all right, I get to clean now and like do my house things. And I put a little podcast in my ears, and I really enjoy it. And so, while they're sleeping, I'm cleaning and resetting the house multiple times a day. So
you're one of those freaks. I've talked about these people that I had a friend in college where we would work all day together and go to school. And then she's like, when I get home, I love to clean my kitchen. It makes me feel good. So, okay. So you're one of those people that you enjoy the cleaning. Okay.
Yes. And if I didn't enjoy that, then I would hire someone to come do it for me, So,
yes.
And I think that's totally what some people do. And I think that's fine. Like, you just have to do what works for you and helps you keep your own sanity.
Yes, of course. And I've noticed that a lot of people I think people get real I think moms get super judgmental sometimes, like, oh, you have a nanny, that means you don't love your children, or you have a housekeeper, that means you're not really a stay-at-home mom. It's like, no, dude, it's a huge job. Get as much help as you can and just survive. But you seem to be thriving. You seem to be not just surviving like me, you are thriving. Now, what's with the smile on the face when you're making biscotti?
Okay, so this is just like a funny story. So at the beginning of the year, I started sharing my cooking videos on TikTok. And I'm a professional baker. I've baked my entire life. I did it for a number of years as a side business. So that's kind of like my thing. I enjoy doing it. And so I started sharing these videos on TikTok. And the first one I shared that got like over 1 million views, people were commenting, "Oh, you look like you hate your life. You look so depressed. Like, why aren't you smiling? Blah, blah, blah." Because I wasn't. I was just filming, how I cook in the kitchen. And I personally didn't think I looked depressed. I'm like, I'm just existing and I'm like making bread and whatever. So for my next video, I was like, all right, let me just like put a little smirk to it. And then all the comments are, "Oh, why are you smiling like that? No one smiles like that." So just negative, no matter what. It was like a little test.
Dickheads like me. Yeah. You mean this dickhead. And I was like, is this woman on Valium? Like what? Because you're so serene and you're just like, my children requested Pop-Tarts. And I'm like, yeah, my kids asked me to cook for them too. And I do, but I'm certainly not smiling. I'm exhausted usually. Okay. So it was a joke. It was like a clap back at people being like, "Bitch, why don't you smile?" or whatever.
Yeah. It started that way. And then, that video got like 6 million views. And I was like, okay, so there's obviously something here. Like, I enjoy doing social media as like a hobby. It's just fun for me. I like making the videos. And then those just started getting a lot of traction. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep doing them because some people really, really love them. I really love them. And then there's of course people that can't stand me. And that's just funny to me. And so like, it's just a little more motivation to like do it and like be a little bit more embellished with what I'm doing. Like, obviously it's content. I'm a content creator.
Yes.
So I'm making something that I think is interesting to watch, and some people enjoy it and some people don't.
Yeah. I think because it's interesting because it does hit a nerve because you're like, well, what? Hey, she's doing it perfectly. Why can't I do it perfectly? And if you're being honest, like if I am being honest, that's the reaction where you're like, but wait a minute, I can't do that. Screw her. How come she gets to be perfect at this? And why am I struggling? So it does bring up insecurities with people watching, that being said, I have so many questions. Number one, how the hell do you get your kids to be quiet while you're recording these videos?
Well, the thing is, so I'm sure you noticed, like, there's a ton of cuts in the videos. They're very quick, 1 second down to like 0.4 second clips. And so I just filmed the whole thing. And of course, I'm talking to them and like we're interacting and they enjoy being in the kitchen with me doing this. And so that's like another thing people come, they're like, "Do you not talk to your kids? Like, what's wrong with your kids? Why don't your kids talk?" And I'm like,
I'm not saying what's wrong with your kids. I'm going, what's wrong with my kids? Because I can't even have a phone conversation, let alone make a video.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they talk like, we make a mess and it's fun for us. Like if they're in the video, it's because it's something that they want to be involved in. So in some videos, they're not around, they're off doing something else. But if it's something that they're like in the mood to help in the kitchen, then they're in the kitchen helping me. And, it's a 20, 30 minute long video in my phone that I'm cutting down into a less than a minute video that I'm sharing on Instagram and TikTok. So
guys, I just had a real-time Pajitsky effect. Do you guys know that social media sometimes doesn't represent reality?
Mind blowing right now.
Guys, that was me right now. I just put that shit together, bro. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so they are making, okay, that was like, okay, because I was like, am I losing my mind? Like, what's wrong with me? That's really what I was thinking. So you're a neat freak. I saw your sensory bin, which I'm a huge fan of. I still give my children just cans of shaving cream and be like, go in the shower and just go crazy. I don't care. I'll clean, hose it off. I'm huge on like, I used to give Ellis just a bag of flour and be like, just go on the driveway with a bag of flour. I don't care. I think, the sensory, but I was like, I so want to see, because you showed us the before of the sensory bin. Can you show us the after, just so that I know that your kids make a mess, please, just for me?
I can put that in the video. I usually will share on my stories because people ask, like, can I see the after? And usually on my Instagram, stories, you can go and see like the aftermath.
Okay. Thank God. Okay.
But I guess I could add it into the video at the end.
Just for me, just once. Okay. And then I also would like to show you, I want to do a Lex De La Rosa reaction video, if you would be cool watching this. So I took my children, we went out of town and we stayed in a really nice hotel. And I just want you to take a look at what my children did. Don't look at me here we go. This is just how we roll in the Segura house. And I just want to see your face. This is the Waldorf Astoria in Washington, D.C. This is what my children did to it last night. I had to put all these towels down because they flooded the floor. And then here's, as a bonus, my son Ellis clogged the toilet. There you go. Happy Easter. Did your kids do that yet? Nope.
Not yet. My kids are a little younger than yours though, so I won't say never, but looking forward to the day.
Yeah, it's gnarly. So when your kids make a mess, do you beat them severely so that they don't do it again? No.
Oh my gosh, no. They might help me clean up the mess though.
Okay. See, now you're thinking. Yes, I do that. But then I am also lazy and I don't want to clean. So let's recap. You're at Lex De La Rosa on social media. So you guys can go follow her and see these. On Instagram, yeah? And are you on TikTok as well?
I am.
Same name, Lex De La Rosa?
Yep, Lex.DeLaRosa.
Yeah, Lex.DeLaRosa. Go see her videos because you see how you feel when you watch them. It might bring something up for you. Don't comment unless it's positive, please. This is a human being. So here's what Lex does. Here's what she's doing right, moms. Number one, she sleep trained her kids. So she sleeps. You sleep, right? Number two, you like to clean. It's therapeutic and it feels nice for you. And what's number three?
What was the third thing?
Xanax. You were a nanny for like a million years, right? So you're used to this, is what you're saying. Okay. You have a high tolerance for kid nonsense, is what you're saying. Do you ever freak out? Do you ever lose your cool? What's it look like?
I mean, I have small children, so like definitely there are times where you get frustrated and, the day can get stressful and overwhelming. But like a freak out, no, it's more like I'm more of like a internal, like, okay, I'm like having a hard day and I'll just like be more quiet. Their dad knows when he comes home if I had a hard day. The kids don't know so much, but it's always fine, like if there's always another day. And like if we're having a hard day, it's never anything like dramatic. Like it might be, I didn't sleep great the night before, or maybe I haven't eaten anything yet, or like had enough water. And like a lot of the times it's like self-reflection of like, why am I so grumpy today? Like, why am I so easily triggered by like the noise or whatever? And normally it's just something simple like I didn't eat yet. So, we resolve these things pretty quickly. And then, their dad comes home and he helps and the day usually ends well, and then we have a new day the next day. And
sounds like you have a pretty decent outlook. You have a good outlook over it. Because I don't think I did. I think I assumed that every day for the rest of my life would be terrible when I had kids. And I didn't understand that like it just changes and grows and morphs. And did you have a good mom? Did you have someone who could model good motherhood for you?
Yeah, I have great parents, a great mom and a great dad. We have a great relationship. My upbringing is much different than what I'm doing for my kids.
Oh, tell me about that.
Well, okay. I guess like the point that I want to make with that is that, you don't have to do things one certain way to be a great parent. So, I think I'm a great parent to my kids and their childhood looks much different than mine. But I also would say my parents are great parents. But just like a totally different dynamic. My parents are divorced. So that's one major difference. And then both of my parents worked. So we went to school like regular, had babysitters, like nothing dramatic or like really negative to point out, but just different than the way that I want to raise my kids. Like we're planning on doing homeschooling. I obviously stay home with them. Just different things that I wanted to do for my own kids. So
for sure. And I think that's a huge part of this motherhood game is like, you go, okay, well, here's what my folks did. Here's what I liked. Here's what didn't work for me. Here's what I wish I could have had more of. I agree. Like I went to daycare after school and I hated it. I hated that. Like why couldn't my mom come get me after school at 3:00? Like half the class, like little stuff like that sticks to you. And well, that's the littler, but you know what I mean? Like that. I also went to bars with my dad, but that's different. I'm talking about like the little stuff. It's just stuff that sticks to you as a kid. And you're like, I don't want to do that. I think I want to give them something better. I want to give them a different childhood, definitely. Well, you're doing it, Lex. You're crushing the game. Crushing it, girl. All right, guys, follow her on Instagram. What, sweetie?
And you're crushing it too.
I hope so. You know, I think that cosmetic stuff aside, obviously, like if you're there and you're present and you're trying, I think that's most of the game, right? Just trying and being conscious and and just being there and
there's a quote and how does it go? I think it's like there's no one to be a perfect parent, but there's a million ways to be a good one. And so I think that's like a good reminder for moms, like, because I'm sure my kids will grow up and be like, oh, I didn't really like that mom did like something totally random that I had like pure good intentions with, or didn't even like have a second about, but at the end of the day, like as long as you're doing the things to be a great parent or what you think you're doing to be a good parent, then you're killing it. You're never going to get it 100% right.
I know. What if they're like, we hated sensory tables. I hate your biscotti. And you're like, well, I love you. They're like, we just wanted to go to daycare like everyone else. And you're like, oh my God.
I know. Yeah. You never know.
All right. Yeah. Well, shout out to all the stay-at-home moms. It is 1,000% a harder gig than I think getting out of the house and working part-time. So did you work full-time before you had kids?
I did. Yeah. I was a full-time nanny.
Wow.
And I did that for one single family for almost 3 years. And then I got pregnant while I was at that job still. And then ended up leaving that job to have my oldest son, Archer.
Wow.
So, and haven't been back to work since. Well, aside from my baking business, I ran a baking business out of my home for a short amount of time after I had him. So,
well, you're very busy. I commend you on all that. Anyways, guys, check her out, lex.delarosa on Instagram and on TikTok. You're going to kick, now that we understand the mystery behind the videos, you're going to get a kick out of her. I think she does ultimately present a very positive portrayal of motherhood. I think that it's nice to actually see a woman enjoying it. Because you're right. I know you made a point on your social media, like so much of motherhood is presented as like hassled and like, so I just want to get drunk. And I agree, like there is that side to motherhood for a lot of us, but it's also like, yeah, but there's really sweet and fun, good things. And it's nice to see those things highlighted. And especially for stay-at-home moms, you guys don't get a lot of love and a lot of credit. So it's good. I like what you're doing. And I appreciate you talking to me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. Good luck with those two boys. And I hope you send me a video like the one I showed you at some point. Send it in.
Yes, I definitely.
All right. Bye, Lex. Thank you, sweetie.
Bye. Thank you.
HelloFresh takes the hassle out of mealtime this spring by delivering pre-portioned ingredients and easy to prepare recipes right to your door. Skip the checkout lines and get outside in the warmer weather because HelloFresh has dinner covered. HelloFresh is not just for dinner. In fact, HelloFresh has you covered for every mealtime occasion, from snacks and easy lunches to seasonal celebrations and festive gatherings. With HelloFresh, you're getting seasonal ingredients picked at peak ripeness for quality you can taste. Ingredients travel from the farm to your house in less than 7 days, so you know they're fresh. I love cooking with HelloFresh. I do it with my kids because it teaches them how to cook and how to eat healthy. And it's a nice way to spend mommy kiddo time. Go to HelloFresh.com/WMMA50 and use code WMMA50 for 50% off, plus your first box ships free. That's HelloFresh.com/WMMA50 and use code WMMA50 for 50% off, plus your first box ships free. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Wasn't that great, you guys? I think, gosh, I didn't want to say it when I was talking to her, but even talking to her, I was like, oh my God, I'm so like, God, I'm such a basic bitch. Because, you know, when what's interesting is the older you get, you start to realize your own shit, you know?
Right.
So when I was like, oh, she's so perfect, fuck this bitch. And you're like, yeah, but that's really my insecurity about not being a perfect mom. Like, I work on it so hard because my parents were so crazy that I don't have a blueprint for what somewhat even normal parenting looks like. Like, mine was so out there. So I'm really inventing it as I go along. So in the beginning, I was always looking for guideposts like, oh, is that how you're a mom? Is that how you should act? Like, I would go to these mommy and me classes just to watch how other moms behaved with their kids. And I'm like, that doesn't, like, some of them are overkill. Like, I remember one woman was breastfeeding her, like, 4-year-old. I was like, that's fucking crazy, dude. I'm not doing that. And then, you know, some women are like, I don't know, too dismissive. I've had to invent being a mom is what I'm trying to say. So it is cool. Like, it was nice to talk to Lex. I appreciate her being cool and like seeing that she has basically the same shit that we all do, but it's social media, guys, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Like I said, social media.
Turns out she's like pretty normal.
Yeah, turns out, guys, did you know? I guess like, okay. So let's take this a step further.
Yeah.
Now that we know that it is, and I know her reasoning behind it, because she was like, in the beginning, I made a normal video of me mixing batter and people were like, why do you look so miserable? So I went the other way and I did a parody of what it is to be baking. So, but at first, So we know that what Lex is doing is basically parody of what the perfect mom is. And so that makes sense. But then in general, what is it about people, Lex aside, this is not to do with her, that present themselves perfectly? Like what is that where you're like, I take the perfect family photos, I do the Christmas, everybody's looks perfect in their sweaters, and I send the cards out every year, very vigilant about that. And then when my baby is 1 month old, I put the card next to the baby that says 1 month old, and then 2 months old, there's a 2 month card. And you're just like, why are some people inclined to present a different version of themselves on social media? I guess is the real question. Chad, you're the smartest one. Go ahead.
I mean, I think everybody does that. You know, whether it's perfect or imperfect, you're like presenting a version of yourself that's not exactly, it can never be accurate of who you are. So you're choosing what you present to the world. I mean, I even think about that being on this show sometimes, because like sometimes what I say isn't necessarily what I believe. It's just like in that moment, I thought that was funny. And then to an outsider, you don't really think that they don't always get that, right?
Yes. But yes, I see what your point is. It's also like, do you really want people seeing the basic you all the time? Like most of the time I look like shit. I've got food stains on my shirt and I'm just sitting around with my kids trying to avoid them on my phone. That's not right? Like it's not glamorous. It's certainly not what you want to portray yourself as. I guess my question would be like, what about the folks that are like other level spooky portrayal? Like you guys are in the dating world. Don't you meet people who you're like, oh my God, this person totally misrepresented themselves? Like,
definitely.
Yeah. So what's that all? That's delusional.
It's more disappointing, really. You know, it's like I'd rather have them been a little bit more honest up front.
Yeah. But then to be so self-deluded that you portray yourself as one, whoa, Vicky, let's use her. She's a public example, right? Isn't she like, I got millions of dollars, and she's always like flashing her cash, and you're like, bitch, I know you have a Honda. Like you're not, no one's buying this, or are they? I don't know.
I think some people see that and they're like, oh shit, whatever this is, I'm into it. She seems fun and blah blah blah. But it's almost like I like seeing the imperfections more than the perfect version of you. You know, like what imperfections are you allowing me to see, and are those cool?
I guess, yeah. But then if it's too earnest, like then why does Drew Barrymore make me anxious when I see her getting down on her knees and being like, you know who hates himself the most? Me. And I'm like, ugh. That I don't know why does that creep me out?
I think too
earnest?
No, because I feel the same thing about that you do, and I think projection has a part to do where it's just like, man, I could never be that emotionally open with someone, especially with cameras around. How is this woman able to do it? Yeah. And then you get mad at that.
And then there's the level of there being cameras around, you know, so it's like you don't know exactly why she's doing it.
Yeah, chat. So there you go. So it's a dichotomy, because I've been on reality shows before. I know how people act when the camera is on. They bullshit. They raise the stakes. You overdo it. So there's that element of the theatrical. And then is it authentic? Is it not authentic? Maybe there's like some authenticity to what she's doing, but not necessarily when she's down on her knees and she's telling, what's his name? Dylan Mulvaney, like, you know, like, oh God, shut up. So I don't, myself. Myself. I love her. I love Drew Barrymore. I love, she's having hot flashes on TV right now. It is the greatest. I'm so thankful that my generation has Drew Barrymore to grow old with, because now she's doing like the AARP commercials. I'm like, dude, she's not even 50 and we're fucking, I guess we're old already. And she's the mascot. Thank God, because before us, it was the Osmonds. Donnie and Marie Osmond were like the mascots of aging before. And Marie Osmond, I don't think is as cool as Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore showed David Letterman her titties in the 90s, and that's fucking cool. Showing your titties. God damn, we got lucky with her. I love you, Drew Barrymore. I'm uncomfortable with my own vulnerability. There, I fucking said it, and I'm going to throw up on myself because I fucking said it. All right, let's do some follow-ups, you guys. Hot topics on this show. Let's do some voicemail follow-ups. Let's take the pulse of the audience.
Hey, Mommy. I was just listening to episode 183 with Rob Eiler, and I had to hit pause real quick while you guys were talking about the pronouns on dating apps and doctors, because I was just at the zoo over the weekend and they had pronouns on the animal cages. So I would like to know if the animals are telling them that or if they're just assuming their gender. Okay, Mommy?
Pronouns on the animal cages. Little Chimpy the gorilla is the he, her, them, they. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting point, because aren't some animals both genders? For instance, seahorses can be both male or female. Isn't that right, Smart Chat?
That sounds correct, yeah.
Are there any other animals that are non-binary? Now, I'd like to delve further into this woman's claim that the zoo has pronouns,
seahorses aren't. It's not that they're non-binary. It's that they're both. They're hermaphrodites, right?
Hermaphroditic.
Yep, thank you. Hermaphroditic. It's
but isn't that non-binary? It's neither. Non-binary is neither one nor, right?
Right, but it's
not both. So, but what is that binary? What is that non-binary word called, Chad?
You really folded my head.
Yeah. What is it when you're both? Can you be both in the non-binaries?
I think it's double binary.
Double binary.
Damn, dude.
Fuck. Just when you thought science was all one way, and then science turns on another. I got a great clip for you guys. Can you please play How Many Genders Are There? So this was sent to me by another savage mom, which I fucking love. Let's see how many
genders are there?
2.
And they are?
Male, female.
But what about someone's right to tell you what their gender is?
No problem at all. So it's you're going to tell me what your gender is, but in the world is less fucked world, I don't have to believe it. But I'm thrilled for you. You're a lampshade. I'm so happy. Let me put a light bulb up your arse. Brilliant.
What do you think of plus-size models?
You cannot, in America.
There you go. See what I mean, though? She's so angry about it. She's like, I put a light bulb up your ass and you fucked that. Like, there's a tinge of anger in that response. Like, I'm of the same mind of like, look, I'm old school. I do believe there's, guess what? It's in most of nature, it's male, female. We fuck, we reproduce. But if you want to tell me otherwise, I'm fine with that. I'm not angry about it, but you know, doesn't it sound hostile, Chad? She's like, you fucked your lampshade.
Yeah,
Hitler should have killed you. Yeah.
I'm far more less affected by those things, but I think I'm kind of glad there are people out there who do get kind of angry. Otherwise, we just kind of get rolled over in all regards if there's no one out there like getting upset about stuff.
Somebody needs to get mad.
Sensible Chad.
Sensible Chad. He's smart and he's sensible. Well, I want you to play pronouns with work. This one's interesting too. Now that we're on the pronoun topic, I could talk about this pronoun shit all day. I am absolutely fascinated by it.
So if I was like hiring and I saw pronouns, here's what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume you're obviously very liberal. So I'm going to assume you're one of those people that is super far left. Hey, I'm going to assume you're not a very hard worker. You are either a female or you're a probably not straight guy. So everything in the office is going to have to cater to you, your feelings, your needs, and your emotions. So everyone around you is not going to be able to be themselves and walk on eggshells. Why would anyone want someone like you unless everyone's like you in a work environment? You're going to be the laziest person. You're going to be the most entitled, complain the most, and I think you're going to be the first to sue. So shocker that pronouns weren't helping you guys. Sorry, is there anything I missed there? Is there anything I missed?
Savage.
Damn.
Savage. And I hate to say it, a lot of that rang true for me. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to fucking hire you. If you come in and you're like, these are my pronouns, this is what I'm about, I'll be like, you know what? You're too high maintenance. You're just high maintenance, and I cannot fucking deal with you. It's not your gender. It's nothing to do with trans rights. It's just you're high maintenance, bro, and nobody wants to kick it with you. Nobody wants to order pizza with the guy that wants fucking pineapple on it, okay? And you're pineapple pizza, and you're bothering us. What? Oh, you like fucking pineapple, bitch?
You don't even like pizza, though.
I know, but when pineapple's on there, I kind of like
I don't get it.
What's wrong with you?
I'm so sorry. I like pineapple on my pizza.
Might as well put like blueberries. And
I know, you're
strawberries.
so
Like,
it's not a fruit thing.
It's like a citrus thing on top.
It's a fruit thing. Can I tell
I
you?
also don't like pizza, so I'm also not the authority on pizza. I'm sorry. Just put me to death. Put me on the train. I don't know.
Yeah, God, Jesus Christ. I will say that I like that the female conservatives are savage when it comes to pushback on this whole culture. Like my favorite, Megyn Kelly, man, she is fucking fierce on it. Candace Owens, she don't give a fuck. She just said that she doesn't think Lizzo is pretty. Google that one. I love it. I love that these conservative women are like, fuck you. I'm not doing it. Not having it. Don't tell me. I love Candace Owens. She's out there, man. Candace Owens calls out Lizzo. Okay. Where is it? It's the first one.
It's like a 2-hour-long podcast. Hold on, let me find the clip.
Candace Owens calls out Lizzo and her fans for being fat positive. I love it. I love just so fucking crazy, dude. Candace gets fired up. I'll read this one. This is great. So we know who Lizzo is. Candace Owens tweeted, "If you peep comments on any of Lizzo's fat acceptance photos, you will undoubtedly find a score of batshit insane women telling her that she looks beautiful. Men do not lie to other men in this way. They do not pretend that clinical obesity is beauty." Savage, Candace Owens. I love it. Are you crazy? This is very true, though. You don't see men. You know, the narratives around female empowerment and male empowerment are very, very different. You know, the self-help gurus on Instagram for women are always like, yes, queen, you can do it. You can be 50 pounds overweight. If he doesn't love you, then screw him. You're a goddess. You're a queen. And then the male motivator, the male motivational speaker is always like, you're a fat piece of shit. No one's going to touch your dick. Do some sit-ups and get rich. You want someone to touch your penis? Make money.
It sounds like my internal motivator.
Yeah. Because it's true. There's such a double standard, and women's commodity for the longest time was their looks. And now that's been dulled down. But I don't think so. I don't know. But the guys that liked Lizzos always liked Lizzos. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to change what makes a guy's dick hard because society is going to shove it down your throat that fatzos are hot. This is not true, I mean, I was watching, goddamn, I'm such a fucking, I was watching The Next in Fashion on Netflix, when I walk on my treadmill so I don't end up Lizzo. And I'm sorry, I don't want to look as hot as Lizzo, so that's why I'm on my treadmill, So I'm watching The Next in Fashion, and there's these brilliant fashion designers. I love it. And they all now, in order to be considered the next thing in fashion, first of all, you can't celebrate like normal, traditional femaleness or maleness. It's got, the winner's always got to be like, he made a wedding dress for a man. And it's made out of denim and silk and like flowers on a man's tuxedo. It's always got to be gender bendy. And then they always have to have fat models too. And it's so funny because there was one designer, her name was Bao. Shout out to Bao girl. I think you should have won this one. She makes these beautifully delicate dresses with cutouts, right? That's her staple look, is like cutouts and very just dainty little gowns that you have to be very, very thin to wear. So all her models that are very, very thin have the beautiful cutout, dress. And then they have the fat model come out and she's wearing like a trash bag with a rope around the waist, basically. Because you're like, bitch, you can't fucking rock that. Yeah, there she is, Bao. Shout out to Bao. She crushed it. I really liked her looks, but they were too feminine. I feel like she was very feminine-centric. What a crime to make beautiful clothing for just women. Ay vey. Oh, what a world. It's so funny, too, because they're like, this is the next big thing. This is fresh and new. And it's like, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new. It's all just recycled in different fucking ways. Like, nothing makes me crazier than when people are like, Harry Styles is the shit. Like, oh, he's so, non-binary, breaking the binary. It's like, yeah, dude, look at David Bowie, bitch. Can't you fucker see? Look at like 1970 Ziggy Stardust. Google Ziggy Stardust and then put that next to Harry Styles. I guarantee David Bowie got his ass kicked 1,000 times harder than Harry Styles. And he looked way better doing it. Look at Ziggy. Now that is some queer shit. That guy spent 3 months in a room in East Berlin getting his dick sucked by Brian Eno, writing some incredible music. Low is arguably the greatest album of all time. And he wrote it gacked out on heroin, sucking Brian Eno's D and dressing like a woman. And that is called art, my friends. Not this fucking watermelon sugar bullshit. Oh, Harry's such an art. Is he really? Please. He's cute. I'll give him that. He's attractive. He's actually very attractive. I like him a lot. Hold on. He's definitely hotter than Bowie. Okay, look, he's much better looking than David Bowie. And I bet his teeth are better because it's 2023 and he works out at a gym. David Bowie never probably worked out. He just did a lot of drugs that kept him skinny. Yeah, this guy's really cute. All right, let's look at some other pictures. He's fucking hot. So this guy fucks guys and girls, right? That's his jam? Yeah?
I don't know. I think he pretends to.
Yeah. See, I don't get dick suck vibes. I'm not getting that.
No, it's kind of the cool thing now to be feminine in your dress as like a pop star.
Yes.
When I think it used to be more subversive than it is now.
It was when Bowie did it, I was like, this is some crazy shit. Lady Stardust. Damn. Harry Styles opens up about why he has never publicly labeled his sexuality. So either he's gay or he ain't gay. You know what I mean? Like, either he's gay. I know that sounds stupid. Okay, meaning like, okay, Morrissey for the longest time was like, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm asexual. But then he's just fucking gay. But then again, you couldn't come out. Harry's been dating Olivia Wilde for almost 2 years. See, that's what I'm saying. He ain't gay. He's just pretending. He's just wearing the dresses. He's claiming femininity again. Just like fucking Mulvaney. Just like John Mulaney. John Mulaney is converting to womanhood. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he don't suck dick. as a dick sucker, I can tell you he ain't sucking dicks. Okay.
Is it gay to just get your dick sucked though?
Yeah, dick sucks are gay.
Fair.
If you get your dick sucked by a dude, you're fucking gay. Mick Jagger on Harry Styles, superficial resemblance to my younger self. Yeah, I remember this article came out and Mick Jagger was like, Harry Styles, you ain't no Mick Jagger, bitch. You ain't no Mick Jagger. Yeah, interesting. Interesting times, folks. It's a softer place. Okay, let's do some more follow-ups. That really took us on a... I forgot where I was. Jesus Christ. You guys get me on those pronouns. Don't you fire me up. I'm getting so stressed out, I'm going to get a cold sore here just talking about it. Fucking, I need my Valtrex. Okay, go.
Hey, Mommy. This is Christy from Kentucky.
What up, Christy?
And I was just listening to your most recent podcast, and you're talking about how your kid likes cold waffles. You should start a new segment called Shit My Kids Lose Their Shit About. My son will not eat a hot dog if I put it in the microwave.
Hilarious.
When it's done, it kind of pops open. If he sees that, he's not going to eat it.
Fuckers.
So, shit he loses his shit about. Doesn't make any sense to me. Sometimes they can be little assholes. All right, Mommy. Bye.
I love this idea, Chrissy. This is a great idea. Irrational shit my toddler loses their mind over. Go ahead. Let's make a call. What irrational stuff does your toddler absolutely lose their mind over? Send me a voicemail, 213-375-5184, or Gmail, WhereMyMomsAt@gmail.com. I can tell you offhand. Here's a good one. Do you want a cheese sandwich? No, I hate cheese. Okay. Make me a pizza. Okay. Oh yeah. Do you want, your feet are big. Do you want new shoes? No, I don't want new shoes. Okay, no new shoes. Like there's that. They lose their shit. I'm trying to think. There's a million of them. Oh, if I unwrap a popsicle and it accidentally breaks, forget it. The kid's not going to eat that. That's a big hard pass. No butter on the toast. We know that.
Oh, I had one.
God, there's so many. Yeah.
Because I have a nephew, and he doesn't do this anymore. But if there was food that he didn't like and didn't want to eat, he'd be like, "No, I don't want it." And then if someone's like, "Oh, cool, I'll have it," he's like, "No, you don't get to have it either." And then he'd lose his shit. He's like, "No one can eat this."
Yeah.
And it'd be like, "Holy shit, dude."
Nobody can eat it. Yeah, you can't take a bite of your toddler's food until they're like 5. They won't even let you have like a leftover piece of crust from their pizza.
Oh, I'm not even. No, I mean like.
No, he fully discards it. Right, it's going to go in the trash, and he would rather not let the kid.
Say my sister makes a whole vat of broccoli.
Oh,
and he's like, I don't want any broccoli. And then someone was like, okay. Well, and then they go into the broccoli thing to put on their plate. He goes, no, you can't have any either.
Psychotic. Yeah, they're fucking psychotic. He's adorable. He just, God bless his heart. I just love him.
God bless his
heart. His heart. Yeah, they're really into like. They have to drink something with a straw. If there's not the right straw, I don't like that straw. I like the other straw. There's a fucking litany of dumb shit. Don't put the milk in the cereal. It's just like you're just abused all the time as a mom. Yeah, it's a good thing I had a schizophrenic mom. It's good training for living with a toddler. Not very different. All right, one more follow-up, and then I gotta out of here.
Hey, Christina. Just listening to your podcast talking about Tom Holland and Zendaya and how it's not cute that he's shorter than her because later on it's going to be a problem. I agree. I think they're super cute now, but I didn't think about that until I was listening to you say that.
Yeah.
I'm 35. I've been with my husband since I was 18.
Jesus.
So I'm like 5'6.5". He's 5'7". There's barely a height difference there. And since it's been 17 years of his shit and I'm getting so sick of him, I feel like he's shrinking. Like, I look at him sometimes and I'm like, is he smaller? Like, he looks small right now. I feel like that's a good point. I never thought of the fact that he maybe looks smaller to me is just because I've been picking up his shit for 17 years and he never knows where anything is and he loses his wallet all the time.
Yeah.
And maybe it just makes him look little. All right.
Yeah.
See you, Mommy.
Divorce. Done. Death. Done. I think it's whatever you found like passable in the beginning once you start seeing that whole person's personality, it becomes intolerable, you know?
Right.
Yeah, right. Like I remember, dude, like I had a boyfriend that had like a snaggle tooth. In the beginning, you're like, oh my God, it's so cute. He's got like the cutest little snaggle tooth. And then like, you know, a few years in, you're like, that fucking tooth, dude, if you don't fix that, I'm going to punch your teeth out because you look stupid.
Well, it was like that.
When they fight with them and you're like, fuck your stupid snaggle. It's like the first thing you go to. You're like,
it's like that video. It was like that video that you showed. What's it called? Was it with Weinshank of the girl that like how guys get broken up with? Like, oh, we've broken up with you months in advance. So all the little things that didn't used to bother them now drive you up the wall.
Or even the shit that you wouldn't admit to not liking in the beginning. You're like, oh, it's a height differential. No biggie. I'll overlook it. But then when shit goes south, you don't overlook it. You're like, oh, that's. And I'm breaking up with him because he's short. You fucking shorty. All right, one more. These are so fun. I like these. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Hey, Mommy. I'm just calling to follow up on your discussion with the Booth Boys about washing your legs in the shower. So when you talked about that, I was like, oh yeah, I never do that.
Yeah.
But then I thought, I actually shave my legs in the shower and I use the soap as, you know, the shaving cream. So
yeah,
I kind of am washing my legs and shaving my legs at the same time. So works out. I'm not a gross mommy. Got clean
You're not
legs.
gross. You got clean legs.
So yeah, I don't know. Something to think about. Do you shave your legs in the shower? If so, you got clean legs. Thanks, Jeans. Have a good day.
Good point. I do shave, but it's not like every day. So I would say that my legs get clean like once a week. But that's plenty. You don't need to wash your legs every day. I would say that's obsessive compulsive behavior. Yeah, you don't have to. My legs aren't filthy. They don't sweat. Like there's no dirt on them. If anything, they're just dry and scaly like a reptile, but that's it. All right, guys, listen, I got to go. My fucking nanny wants a life. I got to go home and let her go home to her kid. What a waste. I love you. I love you. I just want to tell you guys, you know how much I love you. Imagine me as your mommy, and I'm giving you a big hug. I'm reading a book. By Stutz. It's called. He does have this thing where you visualize your mother telling you she loves you. Coming Alive. Ooh, you guys got to read this. Coming Alive. Or do an audiobook because who has time to read? It's pretty great, you guys. It's got them tools to help you get out of your mental problems, like when you're feeling exhausted. It's got a tool when you feel like you're doing your compulsive behavior. It's got a tool. It's pretty good. It's on Netflix too. Stutz. Go look it up. He's talking to fat Jonah Hill, but Jonah Hill's not fat there. Lost all the weight using the tools. All right, I gotta go. Please subscribe to the show so that you don't miss a single episode because it's very important, the stuff we talk about here. And I love you. Okay, bye. I love you. You know who I love more? Myself. Hi, Mommy. Thank you for watching that episode. Did you like what you see? I hope you did. So why don't you subscribe? Just click the subscribe button and, hit the notification bell so you can get notified. And also, why don't you watch another video? Watch one of these. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, down there, whatever. There's so much stuff, bro. I make these all the time for you to watch. That's why I'm here. I love you.